Yeah. Oh. It seems like there's signals.
Mm-hmm. We just test that it's going through.
What?
All right. Hello, hello. Testing. 1, 2.
I can kind of.
Oh, wow. All right, cool. Stream folks, we actually have audio. Oh, it's feedback. The feedback. All right. Hello, hello. All right, cool. Can you guys hear me all right on the mic? There's a little bit of an echo. Okay. Hmm. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Alrighty. Yes, Jess is gonna be on phone there. All right, stream side. Hello, hello. Sorry for the scuff. Give us a few moments as we start back up. We're just figuring out audio things right now. Give us a little bit, but we'll be back here soon for VTubing 101. Stick around. Alrighty, stream side. We're gonna be starting at I guess those of you joining us live, 6:30. Those of you on the VOD, we're gonna be I guess just yeah, in 3 minutes. So skip forward, I guess. All right. See you in a little bit. Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome to our first ever workshop of the term for ViVA. Yay, let's go! VTubing 101. Sorry for the scuff, you guys. It's like we're like 30 minutes late, but it's all right. We roll with it. But yeah, welcome guys to VTubing 101, first ever workshop here at the VTuber Innovation and Virtual Arts Club at the University of Waterloo. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get into it today. We're basically just gonna go over like a general overview of like the process, how to get started, some software stuff, and a bunch of little cool things. You guys hopefully will learn some things. As I said, the first half is gonna be I'm kind of just repeating this for stream, but the first half is basically just us going through the slides, and then we're gonna do a little tutorial slash live demo at the end. Slides should take about an hour, but we'll try to go as quickly as possible. Okay, that being said, let's take a look at the process here. So this is basically what we're going to be doing today. First up, let's head into ideation and branding. Well, you can't have a VTuber without having an idea of what you want to do, so we're going to get into that first. Actually, I was curious, do any of you have ideas that you have today for art or like colors or anything to get started for VTubing stuff? Show of hands. No? Okay. Well, if you don't have idea, hopefully from this you guys can start to generate some ideas or know how like where to start as a baseline. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's pause, rewind, play. Let's get talking about some ideas here. So before you get started on anything, I think it's important to note what you kind of want to do for your branding side of things. This is very market is very saturated nowadays, and you need a way to stand out. And even if you're not doing it professionally, I think it's good to kind of consider that because it'll help you establish your general vibe and whatnot. But also in today's like developed space, VTubing is easy as ever to get into. So we're gonna look into how to come up with some ideas. So this can be like as simple as just like defining your vibe, essentially making like a 2 sentence bio if you want, or if you want to go like real deep into it, you can make some lore. You can like draft out some logos and graphics, maybe even come up with like a VTuber name if you want to, and just kind of look into a niche you want to fall into as well. Other than that though, there are some paths that you guys can take for VTubing, so let's take a look at some of that stuff. Um, so, as I said, with how developed the VTubing space is, it's really easy to get into. A lot of free stuff out there, a lot of low paywall kind of things to get into as well. But we're gonna be exploring these three today. We're gonna look at PNG tubing, 2D or live 2D VTubing, and 3D VTubers as well. So let's start with PNG. This is the most like easiest to get into. If you're not familiar, basically it's like a still image that switches between different states based on voice input. Um, Usually using Fugi Tech right here, but there's other like PNG tubing softwares as well that are mainly used. But this is one of the easiest ones to set up. All you really need for that is just access to like a mic, whether it be like your built-in mic or like a mic that I have right now. Um, you need a connection to Discord and just connect it to the to that web app. It's not like a downloadable app that you need, so it's really easy to set up. And then you can set up states. At the end of the presentation during demo time, we'll run through like how that actually looks and stuff. There's also a really lovely tutorial here you guys can follow to get that set up as well. Everything on the slides also will be shared later, so you guys can take a look at all the links in here after. And for those of you on stream, it's linked in the description. Alrighty. The next step, I guess the next hardest level of VTubing is live 2D or 2D VTubing. So this is the industry standard. So most people just call this VTubing or live 2D if they refer to it as anything. It uses a software called Live 2D Cubism to rig the models, and then brings it into another software called VTube Studio, which is, if I can show you my cursor, it there we go. So this is Live 2D, and then this is VTube Studio. Um, so yeah, to basically VTube Studio just is a software that you use to pilot your models. Some examples of companies and talents that work on this or use this stage of VTubing. Basically, a lot of the stuff you see, Hololive, Niji, Face Connect, and other indies like Iron Mouse and Dokibird. You may have recognized that there's a maple leaf. That's just to indicate some local Canadian VTubers and companies. Yeah, Canadian pride. Let's go. Face Connect and Doki. We love them here. All right, and then the last step is the most, I would say, most expensive and most hard to get into, which is, well, depending on what you're doing, but 3D VTubing. Basically, you need a whole like 3D model with like tracking, motion tracking, and bunch of cameras. But you can also do like a more simpler version and like boot up like a VR chat model or whatever you want. They have stuff for that too. And then there's also this software called VTube Studio as well that you can make really nice like base models, very customizable. You can like adjust like the position of the eyes, the colors. If in the hair, you can adjust like the different shades, and so it's really it's very intricate, I would say, in that sense. But yeah, if you want to do like 3D VTubing, those are kind of places to go. All right. All right. Next up, Darley's just going to explain a little bit how to actually get a model.
Hello, hello. So there are some options that you want when you're looking at getting your own model. You can start from scratch. You can do commissions with other artists, or you can purchase um, already made models. So we kind of have like the pros and cons of each options. Like from scratch, of course, they have a lot of customizability. You can do a lot with it, but also at the same time, it's a high time commitment. It is low price, but in comparison to that, you can purchase a pre-made model, which a little bit more less time commitment, but in exchange just have low customizability, and you don't need any prior knowledge required. But it could be a little bit pricier, whereas commission is a little bit more in the middle of this, where you have medium time commitment, to high customizability, and varies by artists. So for the first option that we're looking at here, when you make VTuber model yourself, of course, you have the most customizability and control over it. It doesn't need to become complicated. For 2D models, you can draw your design in software like Procreate, Clip Studio, Paint before animating. In software such as Live 2D Cubisms. And for 3D models, we have VROI Studio and VR Chat Avatar Creator. For model acquisitions, the second one is commissions. And this is the most popular option because it has a wide range of choices and flexibility. Um, Professional models with a lot of movements can cost a lot of money. But there's also artists out there that do basic models that you can have, you can work with them, and therefore we have the wide range of prices as well as choices that you can make to your model when you do commission, in comparison to our last choices, which is purchase our pre-made model. So pre-made models can be explored, and you can find them through independent channels or on site like Booth for live 2D or 3D, or VR chat models for 3D and VGen for 2D and 3D. Sorry, I just forgot to mention VGen is also one of the site you can find to make your commissions if you would like to go through that as well. And I think that's it for my part. Yeah.
All right, cool. So next, Jess is going to go into a little bit of streaming content stuff.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
So the audio is working.
Yeah. Just have to
Um,
bring the. Hold on, lens checking if the audio is working. Say something, Jess.
okay. Hello.
Okay, it's good.
Okay, hi. If we can go to the next slide, please. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of assets you can get for your Vtuber stream. As you see here, you have like things like background overlays, emotes, logos, stingers, icons, etc., etc. However, while like a lot of these things are optional to get started, you don't really need a lot. I would say my advice is, you should look at the streaming platform that you're on, and then decide what is necessary and what is not. Oftentimes, the more assets that you have, either you would need to spend more time to create them yourself, or you have to spend a bit more money to buy them. So overall, you really have to consider, what you want versus the price point. I would say in general, the things you really sort of want to go for are your stuff like your logo or icons. So these are things like your channel profile picture, um, as well as emotes. Emotes always make the chat fun. For things like stingers, which are basically transitions between scenes, or overlays, which is basically little widgets that you can put over your stream, such as a display for your chat here, or backgrounds. These are all things that can come afterwards as well. I believe that you can customize all of them through your streaming software, which we were talking about later.
All right, cool. Thank you, Jess, for walking us through that. Um, but yeah, for the stinger stuff, you may have also noticed when we started the stream, we actually had a stinger. It's easy to kind of make those. Oops, sorry, it's easy kind of to put those up and make them. But again, it just takes time if you're making it by yourself. And depending on who you find for the stinger, it also may cost a bit as well if you want to again keep it on brand and whatnot. Okay, cool. Next, we're going to move on to tracking software. Next, we're going to move on to tracking software and equipment. This is basically just an overview. Like, again, some of this might be repeated, but just what you need in terms of the essentials and any other supplementary things. So again, the most popular model tracking software is VTube Studio. So we highly recommend using that. It's very compatible with a bunch of things. I will say, um, there is some issues if you don't have like an iPhone, because the cameras in iPhones are just better at tracking your face than Android, and a lot of the features aren't unfortunately aren't compatible with Androids. So just make sure you have an Apple device or a webcam or something else you can substitute for that if you don't have it. I also recommend looking into the software called VBridger. It basically just takes you can find VBridger on like Steam and a bunch of stuff. I think they also have uh, a website, I want to say, maybe not, but you can definitely find them on Steam. Basically, it just takes full use of your iPhone's like tracking capabilities. Just gives you more like dynamic tracking than the kind of base camera features and whatnot. If you want to use that as well. But yeah, otherwise you can use your like computer webcam, a phone, or even a DSLR camera if you want to go that far. Um, what else is on here? Let's see. Yeah, so you also obviously need some sort of device to stream through. So either a laptop again or a computer, a microphone. Again, you can have your built-in mic, but otherwise, if you let's say you want to do like some gaming content, right? You can take a look at looking into like what are they called, capture cards, because sometimes with this kind of stuff, you need some sort of device, some medium to transfer the signal. So, for example, I recommend one of these. This is the Elgato Camlink 4. Um, Stream side, I'm sorry we don't have a photo of this, but uh, yeah, it's the Elgato Camlink 4. This is technically used for cameras. So if you have a DSLR camera, you can like plug it into this, and then I think it should be compatible. You have to check their website to see if it's compatible with your camera or not. Unfortunately, with the one I have at home, it's not because it's kind of old. But there's a lot of newer gen cameras that are compatible with stuff like this. If you want something more for streaming and not for cameras, I would recommend. I don't remember what model it is, but it's another Elgato like Camlink thing. Let me search it up real quick. I think so. It's like that little brick thing. It's like a slim kind of brick looking capture card. But yeah, if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's basically like this, just a bit wider and like has more connections and whatnot. There is a 4K version, I think, yeah. But yeah, if yeah, no. Stream side, I'm so sorry. One day we'll have a camera so you guys or some image so you guys can see this. Yeah, there technically is a camera in this room, but it's scuffed. Yeah, so we'll figure that out for a stream, you guys, in the future. But we broke, yeah. But what I do basically with this is I take the HDMI cable that's in here, for gaming stuff, I should say, and then plug this into my laptop, and then have or my PC, and then run it through the actual device. I run it. I usually use this for like Switch games, so I'll just plug it in my Switch, and yeah, it runs pretty fine. You, the only thing I will say for this, it doesn't have like a separate channel to output the video. So if you are using this one, then you'll have to be using it through like an OBS screen, essentially seeing the camera. Unless you have like some sort of splitter that you can split into another monitor. That's the only caveat. But yeah, otherwise, mic. If you want like like a proper mic, look into getting an audio interface. There are some like pretty good ones. You can take a look on the next slide here of what we recommend. Some of these are a bit on the pricier side. So if I go into here, some of these are on the bit of the pricier side. But obviously with interfaces, if you have a mic, like a proper mic, this is all optional. You don't need to have it. Um, but it's just something worth looking into. Again, if you guys have any questions, stream side or here, IRL, you want to ask about, feel free to ask us, because there's a lot of options for tech. Yeah, it's a whole wormhole. So don't be too overwhelmed. You can really just do pretty bare bones stuff and get away with it. So you don't need all this. Again, I just want to preface that. Yeah. If you want something more advanced, if you want like more, I guess more customizability. Yeah, quality as well. A lot of with the interfaces, you can like adjust a bunch of levels with your mic. So if you want to have that crisp sound to your voice, you can look into that too. All right, cool. I think this next part here is Jess's part. She's going to talk about streaming and recording software.
Yeah. Zero for stream software is OBS Studio. We have a bunch of other alternative options. So I think if you're considering streaming at all, like even if you want to stream as like a creator, VTuber, I think the go-to software is OBS Studio. OBS Studio is an extremely popular free open source you can use to stream. For example, you have a lot of options, creating your own very own overlays as well as recording. So if you want to record your own VODs and then edit it later and then publish the video.
Sorry, Jess, can I step in and say something real quick? I will also say, a lot of like, if you want to do just video content, I know we're focusing on live streaming right now, but that's like kind of the main thing VTubers do. But they also make video content. So if you want to like make video content, OBS is the way to go. A lot of YouTubers in general, content creators, they use OBS a lot to record and film and whatnot.
Yeah. So for sure, what Daniel said. OBS is just extremely popular, very, very widely used. It has a lot of support. There's many, many different plugins, and because it's so widely used, there's many tutorials online. It's relatively easy to get started with. And as well, there's secondary options if you don't want to use OBS Studio. There's options such as Streamlabs, which is basically like OBS, but it's packaged in a more user-friendly way. It is still a relatively common and popular software that is used by many streamers. However, there have been reviews of people saying that it takes up slightly more memory compared to OBS, just because it has all those like added like nicely packaged features. And then finally, we have Fuji Reactives, which is another open source software. It was developed specifically for the use of Discord, and it's they use PNG tubers. Basically, what happens is you link your Discord account to it, you join the Discord channel, and then based on your voice activity, whether you're speaking or not, whether you're often or muted, you can have different avatars that you can upload. And so when you're speaking, you can have like an avatar like move, and it's sort of similar to sort of simulates being a VTuber. As well, if you're interested in being a PNG tuber, I believe in OBS Studio there is a voice to scale plugin which allows you to change the size of an image based on voice activity. So it also sort of simulates the effect of a moving avatar when you're speaking.
Yeah, so basically, just to go a little bit deeper into what Jess just said there, you basically can upload any image, and then I believe you just toggle on that like sizing thing, and then it's basically done for you, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Yes. Yes. Cool like OBS. We can do like separate workshop on all of those if we need to.
Yeah, if you guys are interested and want to like dive into that. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next section. Lynn's gonna take over here and talk about community and socials.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lynn, and if you're wondering why I'm qualified to talk about community and socials, I have been very active within the VTuber community between Hololive, Indie, and some other dapping corporate indie. Not corporate idol companies, and so one of the many aspects of VTubing that people don't often think about is community and socials. It is important to have a great branding, a great model, and know how to set up your stream. But if you aren't going out there and not letting people be aware of who you are as a person, you will go so far if you really want to have a presence within the community. And so I'm here to help guide you guys through this process and what it looks like in general from what I've seen so far. Okay, so in order to stay connect with your community, I would say keep your account names as consistent as possible. Because let's say you're like a I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but if you're like a fish VTuber, I would recommend keeping your username as close to your brand name as possible through every single social media. But of course, names will be taken, so you may have some deviation from your name, but from your original name. But I would still say try to keep it consistent around the same. And of course, there's mainly different platforms to stream on, so make sure to pick one that fits for you. One common combination I've seen, especially within within the indie scene, actually, is between YouTube and Twitch. As there's some arguments between like, oh, Twitch's algorithm is a lot better in terms of looking for new indie VTubers, but YouTube is also pretty good as well in terms of like just getting a grand general audience. I would say like, YouTube is very popular. Yeah. Daniel will jump in real quick.
Yeah, hello guys. So I just want to make a note here that like, yeah, what to one Lynn said, I would say if you're looking on the streaming side, probably best to look into Twitch because it's just streaming. Whereas if you're looking into YouTube, if you want to like get big and like grow your community, it's a bit harder on YouTube because you're competing with videos, shorts, and just a bunch of the other content that's on the platform, including streaming. So, yeah, sorry, I just want to make that note there.
Okay, now on to the third aspect of socials is being engaging on platforms. This I cannot stress about as much as I want to. If you think you can just if you think you can just keep streaming and streaming for hours and hours on daily basis will get you an audience, I am sorry to disappoint. It most likely will not give you an audience. There's a lot of importance on being very engaged on social medias, again, like on Discord, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, because mainly Instagram, mainly on Twitter, is a really big aspect on your engagement. Because again, on top of my head, I've met so many of my Oshis through Twitter based off of what they tweet on Twitter that gets popular, and also clips and shorts. I cannot stress about clips and shorts. They're I would say the single-handedly the most important aspect of reaching out to new audiences, as they are again short content, easy to consume for most audiences, and it gets basically highlights what type of person you are. And so if you don't have shorts slash clips, people will probably like most people will be scared of long form content. So these clips are really a great way for people to have a step into what your mind looks like, whether you are a really loud person, quiet person, relaxed, chill, kind of freaky person. Like all of these aspects are really important within shorts. And I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a long tangent, but like this is something I want to make really clear. Even on Twitter, say as much stuff as you can that really shows who you are. Again, I've met so many of my Oshis through Twitter because of they say on Twitter, and that gets very popular. So I highly recommend looking into how these algorithm works for your different platforms, as they will keep up your engagement and bring up more audiences. So I hope that little long yap can give you guys a general idea on how important this is. Because if you want to make an impact within the community, this is really important. All right, next part. That it is still me. So in terms of recommended resources, again, this is just a quick short presentation, so we won't cover everything. And so we have basically some channels for you to check out. I've looked at these channels, they're really helpful. We have some of these, I don't know, on top of my head, I don't remember what each of them posts, but it is on the it is, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll let Daniel go over these, as he was a bit more familiar with these channels. I've looked at other sources, but not these ones. So I'll let Daniel take over.
Okay, I hope I can pronounce these guys' names correctly. But here we go. So we've got, so starting from the top, we have this wonderful VTuber. He does a bunch of tech reviews, or sorry, not tech reviews, but VTuber tech stuff, and gives amazing advice on how to like set up a bunch of accounts and whatnot. How to get started as you saw in the beginning, how to get started as a PNG tuber, live 2D stuff. A lot of amazing insight into all the tech side of VTubing. We also have some others here, like Podcastage, who works. He's like more of an IRL content creator, but if you're into like the audio tech side of things, he is really big into that. Basically like I want to say every like 2 days he's posting something new about a mic that comes out or some sort of like audio thing. So feel free to take a look at that. Cutie Dragon does a lot of live 2D tutorials, also suggested by a local VTuber, Canadian VTuber, Maple Winters. We just want to shout out her because I talked to her during Oshi Uplink that happened last month, and asked about about like live 2D and like who she kind of suggests to take a look at. And yeah, she's just Cutie Dragon. A lot of amazing, like easy to follow tutorials, and she's always keeping up with the new stuff as well. Another, I guess, one I want to highlight is the one at the corner there. I think it's, guys, you got to help me on the pronunciation here, but I think it's Prolux Labs or something like that. Labs? I tried. That was nowhere near close, but I tried. Like Flux Labs? I think that's how it's pronounced. Flux, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but yeah. They do a bunch of like amazing insights and tutorials as well. Her and I want to say Zikos have done a bunch of like videos together as well, and a lot of great insights into the tech and software side. And also great if you want to get into like the additional like add-ons or like just really easy ways to set up VTubing stuff real quick. She has a lot of shorts on how to like set up that stuff as well. But yeah, otherwise, that's basically it for this presentation. We're gonna head into a little tutorial and demo. We're gonna do a little run through on all the softwares and whatnot. Stream side, we're gonna cut to a little BRB, and then we'll be back for the live demo. Basically, we're just gonna open the floor up now to twiddle and tweak around with making your own VTubers. So yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Alrighty, cool. Hello, welcome back. We're going to take a look at some demo stuff now. Take a look more in-depth look at the software and whatnot. Let's start with PNG tubing things. So this is the Discord reactive thing I was talking about. This is Fugitech. At the bottom here, you can see the name. Basically, all you got to do, just upload some like images. Again, you can make this, or you can just find some images online and put this in. And you just set one of these as your active. So if you go into, so it'll have like, it'll default. I should mention, if you don't have anything set up, it will default to your like your Discord icon. So, and it'll be like the same. You can see here, it'll be like the same thing throughout. So if you want a custom thing, you can set this as your active. You can click into it, and then you can basically just upload little images. There'll be like size limitations, but as long as you keep within that, you can adjust. Right now, we just have it on the ViVA little emotes that you guys have seen on the server. So, or hopefully have seen on the server. Otherwise, you can take a look in more depth at the sources here. Um, You'll notice right now, because I'm on call with myself and Jess here, that it's created a group call, so you can also do like group fugis as well. So actually, I don't know if I can. I want to see if I can show this actually on the OBS screen. Give me a second here. Let's see if I can show you guys how it actually looks like once it's running up. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see right now, I have it set up so yeah, when I don't talk, you can see my image like lights up. And then Jess, if you want to talk real quick. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So you can see like it lights up. I want to see if we can test out the ViVA one real quick. Can ViVA? I don't know. Can ViVA talk, guys? Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, guys. This is kind of a bit live here. We're gonna. Oh my goodness. Okay, but basically, I just wanted to showcase like when it's speaking, you can set the. You can see here. There's some basic settings you can set here. So if you want continuous bouncing, so basically you'll see that. Sorry, I'm just trying to demonstrate. Whenever I talk, there's like a single bounce happening, right? But you can set it so whenever there's audio going through, it just continuously goes like bobs up and down. So if you want that, I personally like that because then it, like depending on whatever image you have set, it kind of makes it look like you're talking more, which I think is really neat. But otherwise, let me see if I can. Okay, let me see if I can quickly set up the ViVA thing. Just give me a sec. So because I really want to show you guys how it looks like. All right, stream side, bear with me here. We're setting this up right now. Okay. All right, so I'm currently. Wait, hold up. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, you can see how like whenever I'm talking here, it's like bobbing up and down. Um, you can set it as well where, let's see if I can remember how to set this here. So I think it's if you go to library, go into whichever one. Nope, sources maybe? I think so. Um, this one. There we go. And you go to your custom preset. So I have a custom preset right now. Usually it just defaults to like single bounce and whatnot, but you can customize a bunch of this stuff. So you can see right now I have this as exclude Viva's account. So what that means basically on the OBS side, to bring this in, you'll have to like go into here. Um, oh, whoops, go into sources, and you'll see there's like little copy things here. So basically, just have to copy this and bring it into your OBS side as a browser source, and you bring it into it that way. We can teach you guys how to set it up on your own end in just a bit, but otherwise, yeah, that's how you set it up. But what toggling on the exclude means is that I can actually go into OBS right now. I'm gonna go into OBS and I can adjust Viva's little Fugi here independent to the other ones, or hopefully I can if I've set it up correctly. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I can adjust it independently to the group. So if you're on a group call and you're with other people, this is actually really nice because then you can make your little icon look a little bit bigger compared to the group, and this will automatically connect anybody who's on the group as well. So you don't have to worry about that. It can be members, and you can have it all lined up at the bottom. But uh, yeah, I honestly don't know what the limit is, but it's a lot. So just know you'll be covered. But yeah, that's basically how the PNG tuber stuff works there. Again, we can run through this with you guys more independently after these little short demos. There's a bunch of other software as well I want to highlight as well. This is pretty cool. Um, this just gives you more dynamic movements and whatnot. Helps, I think, easier to set up, more states and whatnot. And you can integrate it with looks like a Stream Deck as well if you want that. Yeah, you guys can take note of that if you want to take a look at that. There's also this called PNG Duper Plus. Basically, if you want a good crossover um, between like standard PNG tubing or just popping up like this and live 2D, you can use this. Basically, it's the most complex software out there, but if you want physics on your model, you can basically do it. It uses the same kind of techniques as live 2D. So you can add physics to your VTuber model, which is really neat. But it also means that if you're importing art, you'll see here, you'll have to like know how to layer it for that kind of stuff. So again, we can walk through that a little bit more. I want to highlight some creators as well that have some amazing low like price points, really high quality models that you can take a look at here. So this creator right here, so draws, you can take a look. They have like it's $10. You can preview in their model maker right here. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, I know. But yeah, you can basically go to here, preview their model creator, and then from there, you can see whether or not you like it. It's only compatible, I think, with VTuber Plus. So this is something for that software. But otherwise, yeah, you can see like how this works. They have like little demos. You can make really, really complex. I think it has over like 9,000 combinations or something on here. So you can really get in depth and make your own sort of little cute little model here. Only like $10 or more if you want to donate to them more. And then this is just their VGen site for the same thing. But yeah, that's a little bit on the PNG tuber side. On the live 2D end, of course, as we said multiple times, VTube Studio. You can get on Steam on your phone, on your like laptop, industry standard for a bunch of stuff, a bunch of integration with things like Twitch. You can do collabs as well with other people, but that needs to be through a paid thing if you want to unlock that. There's also a little bit of a watermark as well on that end, but again, it's something you can kind of work around, and it's a one-time purchase on Steam to just get rid of it if you want for not too much. I want to actually boot up a model here and just show you guys. real quick. So give me a second. I know. Can you guys hear my fan running right now? It's insane. All right, let's take a look here. I'm gonna get rid of ViVA. Okay, so I've added a few filters on OBS to basically, I've set the background on here to green, so I can just chroma key it out and basically have like a green screen. Let me see if I can. Oh my gosh, there's so many notifications popping up right now. All right. Okay, this is really weird on trackpad to control. But let me just turn it on for you guys on this end. So you can see we have a model loaded right now into here. Stream side, the credits for the model will be, oh my gosh, will be. Why is this man rotated right now? Hello? How do I turn you back? Okay, well he's sideways now, but you can basically see it's going through my webcam here. Again, we can show you guys more in depth on our end how it looks and whatnot, but this is just a little demo on how it could work. But yeah, I basically have the background here set to green, and then through OBS I have a chroma key filter on it, so you guys can take a look. It's tracking with my current webcam right now on my laptop. So yeah, whenever I speak, it's tracking everything. It's really cool. All right, let's get rid of rotated man over here. Alrighty. But yeah, it has a Steam client as well, so you guys can take a look at that if you're interested. And then I'm going to showcase some free models. You might have seen this one that we had a picture for. Again, look to the credits here on Booth on how you can use the model, because some people say that you won't be able to use it for like live streaming and whatnot. It's just for like personal use. Others will say you can use it for live streaming and content, and sometimes even like monetization as well. So again, just always check the description of everything. Yeah. Um, yeah, but these are like honestly like really high quality models that you can just boot into VTube Studio, which is really nice. These are all free, by the way, so you can just boot it in, try this out. And there are a bunch of other like high quality models. I've seen some of my VTuber friends; they've gotten models for like $30, and it's like pretty good. They get some toggles and stuff as well, so it's also really nice. It's the last model. Yeah. If you guys don't know, Booth is basically just a website where you can like Japanese website where you can just buy a bunch of stuff, including VTuber assets and models and whatnot. So check that out if you want to take a look. All right, next, last thing. We don't have any demo ready for this because this takes a while. But 3D VTubing, if you want to look into that, we have VTube Studio. I didn't know this. They have an iPad client apparently, which is really interesting, but only on like I think new gen iPads. I tried it on mine at home, doesn't work. But yeah, that's really interesting. They have an iPad client, and then it works on Mac as well, Steam and Windows. So you guys can take a look at that. Amazing customization. I know, amazing customization on this. You can tweak basically everything. Let's see if we can find out anything about this. But again, I think they have a mobile client as well that you can take a look at as well. But yeah, completely free software. They have it on Steam as well, if you're interested. Just right here, you can actually, this might be better. Yeah, you can see you can literally adjust like all the meshes, the different colors for hairs. Really get in depth with everything. They got toggles for basically everything. So yeah, it's really nice. Another software I want to highlight. This technically is just a solo software, but you can also use this if you want to get into like 3D VTubing stuff. It's called Reality. Completely mobile app. You can again customize a bunch of models, but unfortunately, it's like a native just to the app, so you can only live stream on that app and whatnot. But if you want to use this as well for your VTubing stuff, I recommend taking a look at like screen mirroring apps and whatnot, and you can just again set the background to green, chroma key it out, and then just screen mirror through that. Um, oh gosh, it's kind of freezing a little bit. But yeah, this is only available on mobile. It doesn't have desktop client, unfortunately. But again, really fast getting into VTube stuff. They also, the more you stream, the more you get like certain credits and currency, and then you can exchange it in the app for like gotcha stuff. So you can get new. I know you can get like gotcha stuff in this app. You can like gacha for like more costumes. There's like limited time events. You can like collab with other people in the app as well. But yeah, really really cool stuff. Kind of, yeah, it's a kind of VTuber Instagram live kind of thing. But yeah, that's basically it for our demo. We're just gonna get into now just some free free play, I guess. Just like look around and feel free to make your own models. All right. Otherwise, that will be it for today's workshop officially. Thank you guys so much for coming and tuning in. Let's just gonna break off and make our own models now.
Head down the highway side, cold wind, but it feels right. With you, I'm heavy breathing. Feels like I'm lucid dreaming. I'm not usually the type to rush into the night. This time I can't be speeding. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow, my knees on the floor. I'm begging for more. It's you I adore. You took me to see Versailles in the middle of July. I'm falling to the